What if I told you that this league was about to change forever? That one man would be responsible for fixing this league's parity for good. Screw a big 3 or even a big 4, LeBron James is about to form the first big 5 because of whooping the Warriors gave him in the finals. We all know a player like Paul George has been the main player involved in the super team talk due to the fact that he wants out of Indy, and it wouldn't shock me to see him team up with LeBron in the next 2 seasons. The banana boat featuring Chris Paul, Carmelo, and D Wade also have been brought up, even though it would be a horrible situation for LeBron. Reports and contract situations lead me to believe that either Anthony Davis or Boogie Cousins will team up with LeBron soon. Another place of interest for Bron is in LA, either with Lob City or rebuild a team with the Lakers. Now let's talk about specific teams and my line of predictions for those teams. First team that's up is obviously the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now viewer discretion, because I'm about to tear this current roster up. Now here are my line of predictions for the 2018 roster. So this can happen in the offseason if the King is able to say, screw all friendships, I'm here to win right now and end the Warriors' reign of terror. Now at point I have Chris Paul, shooting guard Paul George, small forward LeBron James, power forward Paul Millsap, and center is the most skilled big man Anthony Davis. Now it could also be DeMarcus, who will be easier to get, but let's go with 80 right now. When we look at this lineup, something has to happen, including trading K Love and Tristan Thompson to Indianapolis most likely, and Kyrie and JR to New Orleans. Plus LeBron has got to put RJ into retirement. Just looking at this lineup, you see a very solid defensive team with very talented scorers, and the only way you can actually beat the Warriors is by 1, keeping up with their pace. You can't get tired at all, and secondly, you have to outscore them, obviously. Now the reason why LeBron hasn't been showing a ton of effort on defense, especially guarding KD, is because he has to worry about Klay Thompson and Curry. His 2 guards are just trash defensively, and with Chris, who is a top 4 defensive point guard, and Paul George, who can help switch on KD if Bron needs some rest, it's just a perfect pairing. Paul Millsap on Draymond Green could also be an interesting matchup and might prove to work actually. Anthony Davis can stop almost anybody in the paint as well as score 30 if you need him to. Something at first glance you might have seen with this lineup is that you have 3 solid ball handlers who can win in iso ball situations, but with Chris Paul, his most accurate 3-point season just came this past season with his latest eye surgery. I expect him and Paul George to be effective catch and shooters for Bron, so if this lineup was to happen, Chris and Millsap would have to accept contracts near $16.5 million or less each, but let's see if they are willing to trust the King. The next team I'll be talking about happens to be my favorite team, the Los Angeles Clippers. And just so you know, I've been saying that this was going to happen since 2015. I speak things into existence like I'm LeVar Ball. Now, unlike the Cavs, this Clippers team must wait until the 2018-2019 season to form, because then the King will be a free agent, and as it currently seems, Chris Paul wants DeAndre Jordan traded for Paul George. Now, this is the lineup I project, and the only non-set player is honestly Lou Williams. I can easily see LeBron going a different route with the shooting guard position, but as for now, he'll stick. So at point yet again, we have Chris Paul, Lou Will at the 2, Paul George at the small forward, Bron at the 4, and Blake at the 5. So this lineup matches up even better with the Warriors than the Cavs one does. PG-13 will have constant battles with KD and is one of the more fun matchups in the league. Blake on whichever 35-year-old they pick up at center for the vet minimum, or JaVale if he decides to stick it out and stay with the Warriors. Bron on the donkey, Paul on Clay. The only liability on defense is Lou Will on Curry, honestly. On offense though, this team is looking loaded. With a hot or cold shooter in Lou Will, Paul has shown us over the years that he can easily run a slow tempo team offense, but with Bron and Paul George, they'll have to start running a faster paced offense, honestly. So I'll be excited for that. The already bonded chemistry between George and Paul at that point, Paul with Griffin, Paul with Bron, we are looking at a championship team right out the gate. A lot of people want to bring up the curse, and I understand that we blew a 3-1 lead in 2015, but the blame is on Doc and DeAndre for that series. Believe me or not, guys, it's just facts. This Clippers team would end up having the same impact this Warriors Big 4 had, so don't sleep. Last and definitely least, y'all got me messed up if this happens, but LeBron to the Lakers is a real possibility. However, it is only a possibility if they do the right thing and draft the right player. Now, like I've repeated a ton of times, King James cannot win a ring with 2 defensive liabilities at the guard spots with the firepower the Warriors currently possess in their backcourt. And on top of that, you need aggressiveness, and this squad I'm about to show you just screams bully ball. This lineup looks like the best option for the King, but of course the Lakers will draft Lonzo and Bron will write them off the list. D-loading at the 1, Josh Jackson at the 2, Paul George at the 3, Bron at the 4, and my favorite, someone who will counter Draymond's Neanderthal tactics, that man Boogie at the 5. This lineup screams championship team for the next 3 years, having a player like Brandon Ingram as a 6th man who I'd hope develops by then. D'Angelo under a facilitator like Bron would thrive. We see him emerge as a consistent offensive weapon and a player that the Lakers hoped they'd receive when they drafted him 2nd overall. Boogie is shaping his game and is becoming an honest threat at the 3-point line, which is looking deadly in his case. And with him, Bron and Paul becoming free agents in 2018, will Bron make this decision? And will all Laker fans that claim they're getting everybody and their mothers to play in LA finally be right? We'll just have to wait and see, but I truly expect LeBron to form a super team with any of these players. The only true question is, with what players? So yeah guys, that has been my take on LeBron James super team talk. As a Clippers fan, I hope he finally wins us a ring, but either way, he'll end up ending the Warriors' reign of terror real soon, and I hate the Warriors, so let's get it. Make sure to leave a like and most importantly subscribe. You've been watching Slump TV. Have a good one. Peace out.